All right, it is 7 o'clock, so we will go ahead and call the meeting to order. We will start out by having the pledge of the American flag and follow that by a moment of silent reflection.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Roberts, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mrs. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Kimmer.
Here.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Here.
All are present. Moves us to the minutes of the previous meeting. You've all had the opportunity to review those. If we need to make any changes, we can do that now. If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve as is.
So move, Mr. President.
Moved by Mr. Kimber. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smeltzer. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moves us to adjustments to the agenda.
No adjustments at this time.
None at this time, okay. Moves us into information discussion with superintendent updates. Mr. Belleville.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Keep my comments fairly brief this evening with the principals reporting. There's a lot going on in the buildings, and I know they have a lot of information to share, so try to get to that as quickly as possible. A few things though on the agenda. First, staffing wise, we have Ms. Wildermuth here with us this evening. She'll be assuming the tutor position at Rushville Middle School next year, and just a great interview. It's always great when you can have community members involved with the schools, and during that interview, just her knowledge of math in particular, and a renewed push in this state focusing on math skills in addition to the science of reading. Just feel like it was a perfect fit at a perfect time, and she brings a wealth of experience and just a great passion for kids, and that's exciting to bring into the district anytime that combination. When we get to that part in the agenda, I'm sure Ms. Hahn may want to say a few words, and we want to give Ms. Wildermuth a chance to speak as well if she would like, but definitely excited to bring her on board, and it's a huge pickup for us at Rushville Middle School. You also see a couple of resignations there. Mike Graham with track, and we'll get that posted and fill that spot as quickly as possible with the track season ongoing, but certainly appreciate all Mike's done all over the years for our track and cross-country programs. And then also the resignation of Keith Barr as varsity girls basketball coach. Appreciate the last 2 years that Coach Barr has put in, and really working on that program, getting it turned around, heading in a great direction, and we'll get that posted and try to have a coach in place as soon as possible so that it doesn't impact summer workouts and those things. We're getting geared up for Canson, those things right now, so we want to get moving on that quickly. Also, you'll see Christy Kern's request for a day of unpaid leave. Christy is completing her master's degree in counseling, and she's worked extremely hard in that program, and through her work she was selected by Ohio University to receive an award, and the award for that presentation is that day in the middle of the day, so she needs to go down to Athens to be at that, and we're proud of her and her hard work, and certainly glad that she can go to be a part of that ceremony. You also see in the conferences, Ms. Tokar's going to Elementary Association Conference, and the only reason I want to mention that, there's a pretty big price tag there, and I just wanted to explain that the cost of the conference also includes her membership to that organization for the entire year, which we cover for all of our principals. So that's why the cost is a little bit higher than most conferences, is it does include her membership for the entire year in that cost. You'll notice handbooks are on the agenda. This is second reading, so we'd be looking to approve those. If you have any questions of the handbooks, we have the principals here this evening. You can ask questions then. Mrs. Throckmorton was kind enough to put the detail sheet in there, so it makes it pretty easy to see the changes. There's one minor change we may bring back to the board later in regards to student dress code. It's always a tricky topic, and trying to find that sweet spot of making sure the handbook accomplishes what we want it to accomplish while trying to keep up with fashion and styles and all those type of things. Mr. Schaefer and I have had a lot of discussions with my superintendent advisor group and the student leaders in the high school. And those kids have been great in providing us feedback and ideas and suggestions. And it's been great to hear from the students, and they now acknowledge the difficulty in trying to come up with handbook policy that makes sense and accomplishes what you want it to accomplish, and is easy to understand. Watching them kind of go through that process and be like, well, how about this? And then someone will say, well, have you thought about that? Oh, well, wait, yeah, that won't work, or I need to word that better. So it's been a fun process, but we met with them today, and for final thoughts. So we may bring one revision back later for dress code, depending on the outcome of our talks with the students. So just kind of little asterisks on that one. You'll see the MOU with the Education Association. I appreciate the hard work of Mr. Denny and his executive board and the membership, the Teachers Association, with all of the uncertainty in state funding and property taxes and all those type of things. Next year, our agreement with the association would be up, and we're just going to extend that for 1 year, just to allow the political atmosphere to calm down, and so we get a better idea of what state funding is going to look like. We're in the first year of biennium budget. We have a governor race coming up, and once we know the outcome of the governor's race, then we'll have a better idea of what's going to happen with state funding and support from the governor's office. So I think it's a win-win for the district and for the staff. So appreciate their hard work on that as well. And finally, an update on school pictures. We have made the decision to transition away from Life Touch for the 26-27 school year. We're going to go into contract with Interstate Studios. It's a family-owned business. The headquarters is in Missouri, but they have a branch in Zanesville, and had the opportunity to talk to multiple superintendents who use Interstate. Just east of us, a lot of schools, Perry County, Muscatine County, use Interstate, with Interstate's headquarters being there in Zanesville. A lot of positive comments. Through my discussions with Life Touch, everything was email, phone calls. When I first contacted Interstate, within 24 hours, they had a rep in my office sitting face to face. And they take great pride in that, because they are still family owned. They're not a conglomerate. They're not part of an umbrella organization. It is one family that is in charge of the entire operation, and they just have these hubs, and you report back to the main family. So, their expectation is to be hands-on, and they focus on customer service. They'll readily tell you they may not offer as many bells and whistles, but they'll give us all the same service that we've had, hopefully at a better price for our families. And so we'll see how it goes for a year. It's a 1-year contract, and we'll reevaluate things at that point and see where we want to go. So did want to update the board that we have made that decision to transition away from Life Touch. So I believe that's all I have this evening. Any questions?
Just a comment,
Yes.
Mr. Belleville, a small comment of humor, really. You mentioned the dress code, and years ago I brought up possibly a conversation with uniforms. And I was told that I would be tarred and feathered by the students. but I just thought.
At that time, was it by your daughters?
But I just thought it makes it much simpler. You mentioned fashion and this and that, but I was told that, that my mailbox would need to be enlarged because I got a lot of hate mail in it and anyhow.
I have a feeling I would face a similar outcome. Morgan Belleville, going into her senior year, would absolutely throw a fit on me, and I don't need that right now in my life, so, without a doubt. So, I'll be right there with you. So, put a cot here in the office.
Just a little small comment.
I like it. Any other questions?
You said the name was Interstate, what is it?
Studios.
Studios.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions or comments? If not, we will move on to recognition of visitors. Anybody signed in? No one signed
No
in?
one has signed.
So we will move right along to reports and presentations. So we'll start out with the administrator's report. First up, Mr. Schaefer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep mine as short as I can, which is probably still a little long-winded, but I got to keep some for State of Schools coming up next month. So just some updates. I know that every building is in testing, so to kind of start out, last week we started with our English testing. We had 159 students each day that took the English test, and today we did some makeups. In fact, we only had to do 7 makeup sessions out of both days combined. So pretty impressed by our students. They came in ready to go. I mean, they took pretty much the entire time that they had in that testing session. So we're excited to see the results that will bring. You know, this week is the busy week for us. We'll do algebra testing over the next 2 days. We'll do U.S. history testing tomorrow with government on Wednesday, and then we end the week with geometry over the course of Thursday and Friday. So after this, we've just got biology next week, but you know, the kids seem to be, I don't know that they're excited about testing, but they seem to be engaged with kind of a good spirit behind testing. You know, we had a little bit of a PBIS day going into spring break, and one of the things we did was had a battle of the classes, kind of a pep rally, and just kind of reiterated to them that, you know, the test isn't necessarily the measuring stick that we want everybody to stress about, but we take a lot of pride in being one of the best, if not the best, high school in the county, and that's one of the things that they measure us on. So just to kind of see the kids focus in on that, show all the hard work that they've done over the course of the years, it's exciting. Also, you know, Mr. DeStadio, I know he's got testing up to his ears. We've got AP testing coming up as soon as we get done with this, as well as our spring web exam testing. So there's a lot of different ways that our students are going to be showing, you know, all that they've learned over the course of the year. We always, you know, are surprised, not really surprised, but they just shock us. Every year it seems like they just keep accelerating and scoring even better. So really excited to see those come back. I want to highlight some of our groups, athletics, you know, co-curriculars that we have coming up. This is kind of that time of year where you got spring sports going on, but all of our student groups as well, they're in competition season. So DECA is getting ready to go to nationals here in a week. We'll see FCCLA go to their state competition, and then at the end of April, FFA goes to state convention. So all 3 of those groups are going to be going. Excited to see, you know, who's going to qualify and kind of what next steps that they have coming up. And then just a brief rundown on the spring. You know, it seems like it just started, but it always seems like that one goes by with a blink. So the varsity baseball team started out the year 0-2, but since then they've won 7 straight. So they're currently 7-2. They're undefeated in the league. So they've got some really big league wins. You know, they're about 2/3 of the way through the season, but excited to see kind of how they finish up here coming into the home stretch. The JV baseball team's having a good year as well. 6-2 total on the year with a 3-2 in the league. So really liking the way that the baseball, both teams are playing right now. Varsity softball started out really hot this year, won their first 3, and since then it's been a little bit rocky, but they've played some really tough competition. They're currently 4-6 on the season, so you know they've got an overnight tournament that they're going to go play in here. I believe it's this weekend, so you know, excited to see how they kind of perform on that stage and just kind of how they close out the year. Our JV softball teams are a really young group. You know, they're currently 1-5, but just the growth that they've had is very evident. You know, they're coached by a couple of our alumni, so it's just nice to see that group continue to grow, and we look forward to seeing them when they make it up to the varsity level. And then our track team, both boys and girls, they've competed in 3 meets so far. The girls team has placed first in each one of those, and then the boys team has received a first, a second, and a third. So at the top of all of those, and to know all of the meets that they've been in so far, they're competing against Division I schools in a lot of those events. So just, you know, not that it's surprising, but it's always good to see our track team just continue their success. So excited about that. A group I want to recognize tonight, I know I recognized them kind of earlier in the year, but Mr. Purdue's Media Production Group, and I stole this from Mrs. Tuck. It was on mine though, so I didn't do it just because you brought it up. But our media production team, it seems like they're really getting their feet under them. You know, they're involved in a lot right now as we go into the end of the year. One thing that Mrs. Tokars will kind of highlight on is not only is our yearbook class, you know, completing the high school yearbook, but they're also involved in both of the elementaries too. So just excited to kind of see that product as they finish out. And then another big one is State of Schools. So they're going to be involved. That's going to be our first ever live streamed event from our media production. So I was down there the other day. They're kind of ironing it out. They're practicing with multiple cameras and how they're going to flip. I don't know how they do all the things that they do down there, but it's going to be impressive. So we're excited to kind of see that. Really proud of that group that in just 1 year, you know, they've sustained the weekly newspaper that we got kind of thought, there's no way they're going to be able to do this every week, but they have. They've not missed a week yet, and just all of the things that they're doing down there is just outstanding. And then one of the things that I'm going to highlight here, I brought this up to our BLT. We're going to have a staff meeting here at the end of testing, kind of to challenge our teachers a little bit. That, you know, once we've concluded testing for the year, you know, there's still things to be learned. There's still instructional time at the forefront, and we're going to challenge Mr. Johns and myself. We're going to challenge the high school staff to kind of take a new approach to the end of the year. You know, there's some things that I guarantee teachers are really passionate about that, you know, maybe it's not on the test as much, but it's something they really think is important. So we're going to kind of challenge our teachers to be creative with how they finish the year, encourage them to engage students beyond the screen. We're going to try to get the screens out of the room as much as possible, get kids doing hands-on activities with their peers inside of the classroom. So we're excited to be able to see kind of how that goes. I think nationally there appears to be a trend of kind of honing in on when we use screens, but maybe not using them for everything. So we want to kind of be on the front end of that. So we're going to use the end of this school year to encourage our staff to, you know, be creative, play around a little bit, find some things that work as we head into next year. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you. Next up, we have Mrs. Hahn, Rushville Middle School.
Hi, good evening. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to all the middle school staff for their hard work, dedication, and care they have shown in preparing all of the students for the state tests. Their commitment to supporting our learners each day does not go unnoticed, and because of their efforts, our students felt confident, capable, and ready to do their best. With that being said, ELA state testing went very well last week. We started the ELA tests on Thursday, and we also had them on Friday last week. All students have completed those, except for just a few students who were absent. We did run a makeup session today, so we're hoping that we can kind of get the rest of them tomorrow before science tests start on Wednesday. I also want to send out a special thank you to Mr. Deke Scott and his leadership class. They came over before testing and had over 600 mints for our students who were going to be testing last week for ELA. All the notes had a special encouraging note for the students, and so those were ready to go for our students when they started testing last week. I began the process of roster verification today with the middle school students, and kind of what that means is the teachers attach themselves. They claim the students who they have provided instruction for throughout the year, and they have a percentage of instructional time that they see that student face to face. And then on my end, I approve all of that and send it to the state. And then kind of what comes out on the back end of that are the teachers' value add reports, and that shows how much growth the students have earned over this school year. So we're in the middle of that process right now. At the middle school, we're also celebrating Military Family Week, and so we have a different theme each day this week for students to participate in. Today was Wear Your Favorite Military Branch, and tomorrow's Camo Day, and so we have different themes for this whole week. We are also sending home letters to families with people who have active military family members of our students. We do have several students at the middle school with some active family members who are in the military, so we want to make sure that we are, celebrating them. We're going to have a special breakfast for those students this week. And also Mrs. Verdow's son, who is in the military, She's been speaking with him, so she's going to have her classes write letters of encouragement and thanks to the servicemen and women so that he can then pass those along to, the people near him. We have several updates. On April 22nd at 5:30, we are going to be having our parent meeting for those students who are interested in attending the Gettysburg, Philadelphia trip. We typically try to, have that spring meeting just to kind of, get students excited and get all the information out about those trips. So that will be coming up soon. The final week of April will be our Spring Athletic Spirit Week, where we'll have themes and activities, and then a pep rally at the end of that week to honor those student athletes who have been involved in all of our spring sports. Friday, May 1st is our 7th and 8th grade semi-formal dance, and that's at 6 p.m., so the middle school students always look forward to that. And May 4th through the 8th is Teacher Appreciation Week, so we're going to be, Mrs. Rice and I will be working together to make sure that we are, having different things throughout that week just to celebrate the teachers and their hard work throughout the year. We have upcoming choir and band concerts. On May 6th, that is our 7th and 8th grade concert, and on May 12th, that's our 5th and 6th grade concert. Both of those evenings, those events start at 6 p.m. over at the high school. And just a couple more things. The 7th, May 7th, we have our Leo trip, Leo Club trip to the elementary schools, where our Leo Club members are going to be making handmade blankets for the preschool students, and they'll take them over to them, read to them, and that'll be a really neat thing for our kids to share that with our preschool students. And then we have on May 11th our National Junior Honor Society induction, and that is at 6 p.m. at Rushville Middle School. So of course we've got a lot of other events that we'll be having over the next several weeks. I try to kind of just pull out a few that are going to be here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. May is very, very busy for the middle school, as it is, I'm sure, for all schools. So we're just really looking forward to a really strong finish to this school year.
Thanks. Thank you. Next up, Mr. Knott.
Good evening, guys. All right, so I know we've talked a lot about writing at the elementary this year. We partnered with the SC, we've done some planning sessions. Mrs. Barr did some optional training for teachers throughout the year and stuff. We kind of organized all that information, and we sent that recently out to the grade level teams to take a look at kind of what we were envisioning based on some feedback early in the fall. We're just now getting that information back from teachers so we can kind of sort it and decide what the next steps are for writing. I will say, just walking down the hallways in both buildings, the teacher in me sees much improvement in the area of writing. So kudos to those teachers who have kind of been creative and came up with their own ideas and kind of meshed it with some of the things that we've kind of suggested to them. It's looking very good, and I'm excited to see also on the testing side just what that payoff is for us. So kudos to them. The STAR testing window will open up at the end of this month. That's just for the kiddos who haven't met their growth goal, and that's for reading and math. So that'll be open, that'll go through the first part of May as well. Kindergarten screenings, tomorrow will be the last day for Bremen. Pleasantville's already completed those. It is, you guys know I love my kindergartners. They come in, their eyes are as big as their head. They want to see everything and do everything. And as parents are kind of in the middle, right? They're excited but sad and stuff like that. But it's fun. Kudos to Bremen. The aides the last few years have actually created a backdrop for the parents to get pictures with their kids and things like that. This year over there, it's tied to that the story. If you give a mouse a cookie, and of course the kids get cookies on their way out. But it was kudos to them. Very creative, nice way to tie it into literacy. Also give parents those moments that they want for good pictures, and so that was nice to see. It was cute. And also, if you didn't see the breaking news on the Bremen Facebook page, Betsy Ross herself visited Mrs. Neal's first grade, also known as Roseanne Elliott. Mrs. Neal was kind of brainstorming some ideas, and of course Roseanne said, "Well, I just happen to have in my spare time I do," and so it was perfect. It was real cute to see. Nice tie into the reading. That was part of CKLA. It was a good tie in there as well. Gifted results are in, so we now know who our kids are that have qualified for gifted services. We're kind of in the process of sorting that data, informing families, looking at programming for next year, those kinds of things. And so that's good news as well. That actually was a quick turnaround. So other than that, that's about all I have for you. Anything from you guys?
How are the kindergarten numbers?
Yeah, so I can tell you at Bremen, it's roughly 60. Pleasantville's a little smaller, it's in the 40s. I also say we gain about 10 to 12. But I say that, and last year was nothing like the norms that had been, so who knows? But it does feel like it's a bigger number overall than what we had for this year, so that's a good thing. I always say if I can pick, like, if I don't think about the business of it, ideally in kindergarten, if you get around 18 in a class, you're good to go. It's when you get to the 20s, we have great teachers, we can do that. But you get around 18 and it's like, okay, this is a nice healthy number, and then when we kind of go into the 3 first grades, then again, it's not overwhelming for them too. So I feel confident. I mean, I will tell you, just today, got a call at Bremen. It was an open enrollment, just asking some questions about, I hear this about your kindergarten programs, I hear this stuff about your school, and I was answering all those questions. Oh, okay, so what is the process? I get a lot of that over the summer from kindergarten's family. I always have since I've been here. They really are people, kudos to our teachers in our community that's talking about the good thing that's happening in kindergarten. I get a lot of those calls, so that's a compliment to us. So.
Our goal is always 65 to 75 at each building, so.
So we're not too far. I mean, thanks.
Thank you. Next up, Mr. Montgomery, Bremen Elementary.
All right, so the last time we met, since then, we've had the Breakfast Club. It's always great to see how big of a turnout we always have for that, and all the community coming out. Mrs. Montgomery and Ms. Stewart, they had their Habitat showcases. Thanks to everyone that was able to get out there. And all the parents also showed up for that. We had a great turnout for that. Like Mr. Knott said, we had kindergarten screening night, got to meet all the new families, great to see all those new faces. And then teachers been working really hard to do all the screening tests. Just a big shout out to the kindergarten team and the aides. Like you said, they've done a lot of work there, and I'm really proud of that team. Also wanted to shout out to Christy Kearns and Emily Holm. They've graduated with their masters in counseling, so that's a big achievement for them. And then I also wanted to follow up on Ms. Conrad Zangmeister's question at the last meeting for recycling posters. So I looked into everything and got in touch with the head of that. And so actually Fairfield Union students made up 1/3 of the winners. And so from Bremen, Emma Myers took 2nd place, and Freya Langwell was in the top 10. And then from Pleasantville, Vera Fisher got 3rd, and Isla Hutterly, forgive me if I'm wrong, she was also in the top 10. So I just want to follow up on that one for you. And then PBIS-wise, we had our 3rd quarter behavior party, and we had popcorn and movies. Students seem to really enjoy that. And then for Falcon Lunches, just wanted to shout out all the students we had in March to come from the high school with Mr. Deke Scott. Sending them on over he does like the first round of students kind of teaching leadership skills. The second, he's applying it, and so some of that is sending the students out to kind of meet with our kids. And that's Katie Welsh, Fiona Keller, Dean Clark, RJ Hedges, Grant McPherson, and Camden Maynard. They were the ones that came in March. They all did a great job, and so it's really cool to see them interact with the students. For upcoming events, obviously we have state testing, and 3rd and 4th grade has done a great job preparing our students for that. And of course, all grades are a part of that. You know, it takes the entire school to get them ready for that. So really proud of our teams for all their hard work on that, and we begin that on Wednesday. So upcoming events also, a music program for 4th grade on the 30th of April, starting at 6 p.m. And then we have a few field trips coming up in April. We have kindergarten field trip to Alley Park on the 21st, 2nd grade field trip to also Alley Park on the 27th, and then May 4th, the 4th grade is going to Cosi. And so that's all the upcoming events I have for you. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, Mrs. Tokars, Pleasantville Elementary.
All happy Monday. With spring in bloom, April is event-filled. Saturday marked the annual Pleasantville Carnival, a community tradition bringing families together for over 50 years. That is according to my most reliable source, Mr. Kemmer.
He should know.
I attended 50 years ago.
I just want to say thank you so much to our amazing PTO for the countless hours dedicated to planning, organizing, and executing this event. Our president, Katie Allen, our Vice President, Abby Brown, our Treasurer, Megan Horn, Secretary, Lindsay Yellen, and then our Teacher Liaison, Abby Bolin. The number of volunteers it takes to bring the carnival to life, more than I could ever express. Mr. Belleville told me about the carnival when I was hired here. You know, you have to experience it to believe it. So it takes many hands. We're incredibly blessed to have so many people just give their time willingly, always with a smile, always with a heart to serve, and I just appreciate that. My face actually hurt when I left the carnival on Saturday. I got home really late, and it was just, I smiled for 12 hours straight on Saturday. One of the most memorable parts of Saturday evening was when a few of my students realized that Conrad Birdie was volunteering at the carnival. It was some of my past students who are in middle school now. Mrs. Tolkars, did you see Conrad Birdie is here? So that was very exciting. He was out walking around with a tray of hot dogs and popcorn, serving all of our bingo players. And let me tell you, he was serving quickly. He was coming back to the kitchen with an empty tray. So I think we definitely need to make sure that our musical kids are at the carnival every year. It was perfect. In all seriousness, the carnival would not be possible without all of our high school students. We had over 40 high school volunteers at the carnival, which was awesome. All right, switching gears, we have a super busy week ahead. As we head into state testing, our 3rd and 4th graders are preparing to take the English Language Arts assessment on Wednesday and Thursday. As Mrs. McCafferty says, they've put in the work and they're ready to go. Mrs. McCafferty's class is participating in test prep boot camp, and you can feel the positive atmosphere and engagement. Mrs. Schmitz's class just finished up their March Madness Challenge, where the class cumulatively read 6,420 pages in their independent books during the month of March. So I was super proud of them. Our teachers and students are making great use of the Ohio Restart Readiness Assessment for targeted test prep. It has been incredible. Mr. DeStadio came over and helped us build a spreadsheet, and so we've given this assessment 3 times this year, and it's color-coded, and you can see from where they started to where they've ended up. The colors are changing, they're growing. I'm super excited to see how they do on the test. And with that, I am most excited to share that tomorrow we are having a surprise. So I hope none of my students are watching this. A surprise pep rally for our 3rd and 4th grade test takers. Our plan is to give our students a little confidence boost by energizing them, building some school spirit, and helping them feel ready for the test. So we're partnering with Mr. Deke Scott. He has been mentioned a lot tonight. And his leadership students are coming over. They're gonna give our kids some words of wisdom. Our kindergarten through 2nd grade students have been very busy making some signs. We're gonna line the long hallway with all of our kindergarten 1st and 2nd graders. We're calling it the hype hallway. Mr. DeStadio had a great idea to play the Rocky theme song, so we're gonna blast that over the speakers, and then the 3rd and 4th grade teachers will lead the way as the kids walk through the hype hallway down to the gym. We have our students coming over. Mr. Belleville's gonna speak, Mr. DeStadio is gonna speak, Mr. Schaefer's gonna speak. So I'm super excited. I think the kids will be stoked. They're gonna all receive a I Rock the Test sticker when they leave, just to give them that extra confidence boost. Who doesn't need that? I also want to mention that Mr. Purdue's kids, who are working on our yearbook, are also coming over, and Mrs. Tokars loves to make reels. If you follow me, you know that. We had a very fun reel last Friday with our staff. Yeah, Mrs. Johns knows what I'm talking about.
It was cute.
And so, you know, I just, happy teachers equal happy students, so, you know, Mr. Purdue's kids are gonna come over, take some video, we're gonna put it with some music so that we can share that reel out with parents so they can see what we did, which I think will be awesome. So tomorrow, we are asking all of our students and staff to wear their Falcon Pride gear in true pep rally style. If you're available tomorrow afternoon at 2:45, we'd love to have you, so stop by. April is also Military Child Appreciation Month. So we are honoring the sacrifices of our military kids at Pleasantville. So Friday we are participating in the statewide initiative to support our military kiddos. It's called Purple Up, so we'll be in our purple on Friday. We're deeply appreciative of the sacrifices that our own military families make here at Fairfield Union. Mr. Schaefer, I know you said you're challenging your staff for the month of May after testing. Well, we're gonna take you up on that challenge, so Pleasantville's gonna do that challenge with you. We're super excited about that. Thank you all for supporting Pleasantville. What questions do you have for me?
I guess I need to know more about Mr. Scott's leadership class. They're pretty busy, it sounds like, so.
He is, he's pretty busy. Actually, Mrs. Thompson and I invited him to come to our health fair because, you know, his daughters also are fitness, they're into fitness as well. And so we're getting health fair together right now, but he declined. He said he was busy at the high school that day, which I do understand he has a job, so. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate all the administrative reports as usual. Safe to let them take off. I know you've had a long day, so please feel free to cut out as we wrap up the meeting here, continue the meeting. You're gonna move into the consent agenda section. 5.1, workshops and conferences. You've got the 4 items listed there. Do you have any questions? I think Mr. Belleville mentioned a couple of those in particular. Any questions? If not, we'll move over into 5.2 financial items.
Okay, a few items for this evening. Starting out with the financial summary for the month of March. It's funny, because right now in this world, I feel like I actually don't have a lot to report that is different than what we have been saying. So sometimes that's actually good news, is that everything is kind of flowing right along, right where we would expect it to be. So far for the year, we have received almost $25.7 million compared to 25.6 last year, so right in line with last year. You can see property taxes are down 1%. Income taxes are up 6%. Our state foundation payments are down 1%. And then other revenue, which includes interest, is also slightly up. So overall, we're hovering right where we would expect to be at this point in the year. Expenditures are at $20.6 million compared to $20.4 last year. You can see our salaries are up 2%. Benefits are down 2%. Purchase services are up 8% and supplies are down 14%. So we're kind of right in line with where we have been talking for this point in the year. We're 75% through the year, so 3 more months. So kind of moving right along. We ended the month with a cash balance of $12.6 million compared to $22.7 million. I say it every month, it's due to the big transfer. I just don't want to forget that because that's why we are down in the general fund. So overall, not a lot of movement in the financials for the month of March, but really right along to forecast and right along to where we should be at this point. Any questions from the financial piece of it? Okay, I will move into the insurance report. Similar story with insurance, actually. So far within health insurance, we have received $4.1 million compared to $3.9 million last year. Our expenditures are slightly up. Claims are up 7%. I keep putting that month of November in there because that was kind of when we hit that peak of compared to last year. So coming down. However, I will say when I go to present April, we had a very high week of claims last week. We had over $200,000 in claims last week. So we're digging into that, seeing what that is made up of. Hoping that was a one-off week, but just kind of obviously looking at that and digging into that information because I would like to see this continue to come down and be in line with last year, but just watching that. We did end the month at $4.1 million compared to $3.9 million last year. As a reminder, the board is planning on taking on $360,000 of the expense out of our 024 fund to help offset some of the premium increases. Of that, we're about $51,000 to the negative. So I would anticipate, hopefully we don't have to use that full 360, but we'll obviously continue to report on that and continue to watch for that. Dental insurance, same as always, moving right along. Revenue we brought in, honestly flat to last year, $187,000 versus just over $187,000. Our expenditures are down 5%, and our cash balance is at $270,000 compared to $240 last year. So overall, we're actually in a really good spot with both insurances, just watching the month of April after last week's claims. Any questions on insurance? Okay. The other, item number 3 in this for this evening is the, then and nows that we do have to bring to the board for approval. You'll see 2 of them in here. One of them obviously is pretty big for the Muskingum Valley ESC. Honestly, this was a miss amongst all the teams of, we received the invoice and realized we just didn't have a purchase order for it. We had contracts for it, just missed the purchase order, so, amongst all the teams, we're actually working on all of our July 1st purchase orders as we flip into the new year, and just really working on kind of a master list of who owns what, so, it's crazy to say, we're already looking at that for next year. Any questions on any of those items? Okay, that's all I have this evening.
All right, there's no other comments or questions. We'll move on to 5.3, approval of consent agenda items. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mrs. Johns moved to approve. I will second that. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Johns,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer,
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to new business. Item 6.1 is a motion to approve 1-year tutor contract with Christine Wildermuth as Rushville Middle School tutor. From tutor salary schedule step 7, beginning the 26-27 school year.
Ms. Lynn, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just, I'm here. I just want to echo Mr. Belleville's comments. Mrs. Rice and I are extremely excited to have Mrs. Wildermuth on board with us next year. She has such a great mathematical mind, and we just know that we're going to be able to use that use those skills, with our math teachers, helping out our students. I just think she's going to be a great fit at Rushville Middle School. So we are extremely thrilled to have her on staff for this next fall.
Ms. Woodward, anything?
I, first of all, want to start by saying I was super excited that the carnival is such a big deal. I was a Pleasantville Carnival kid when I was a child, so I love that that's still a thing. I'm just super excited. I graduated from Fairfield Union more years ago than I won't say. I have 3 kids in the district. Their dad graduated, their grandparents graduated. Like, this is just home for us. I have teaching, administrative, instructional, curriculum experience. I taught preschool for 2 years. So I feel like, and then I took 5 years off to raise my family. And so I feel like the middle school and the tutor position is just the perfect, like she said, it's the perfect fit. I'm super excited to step back into education and have my kids here, and for everybody to just be here and hopefully fill the rave reviews that they just gave. So I'm excited. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's make it official. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister moved to approve. Do we have a second?
Second, Mr. President.
Mr. Kimmer, second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mrs. Johns,
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She's awesome.
Yes, I
My
love her.
teaching days were she had been.
Really? Honestly, my daughter,
She's
I loved
great.
her. She was perfect. First experience. Thank you. Thank you.
You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you need to take off, that's fine as well.
I have 3 kids that are going to be in your schools tomorrow, so if it's a shame to
No,
go for
you're
them.
more than fine.
We understand.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll move on to 6.2, transfer, this is, all right, catch up, computer. Motion to approve transfer of Audra Freeland from Bremen third grade teacher to elementary reading teacher beginning 26-27 school year.
I will add just one note to this. And we'll now have a reading teacher at Pleasantville and Bremen dedicated full-time. But we also know that the potential for the science of math is coming, and more targeted interventions will be required for students that are not meeting their growth requirements for math. So we're calling them reading teachers for now, but we also realize that the time is going to come where we potentially need to do interventions with reading and math. So these two positions, that's why we really need to dedicate the person to a building, and Miss Abby White's been going between the two buildings this year. So now Abby will be at Pleasantville, Audra will be at Bremen, and they'll do the reading interventions next year, but when math comes, they'll do reading and math. So getting them dedicated to the building full-time in that capacity is really going to pay off for us.
Great, thank you for that additional information. Any other questions? Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Smelser moved to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. John, second the motion. Any further discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimber?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 6.3, this is motion to approve the resignation of Mike Graham as a middle school cross-country boys coach and assistant varsity track coach, girls coach, effective immediately. Need a motion to approve.
So moved, Mr. President.
Mr. Kimmer's moved to approve. I will second that. Further discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 6.4, motion to approve the resignation of Keith Barr as head girls basketball coach effective April 3rd, 2026. Mr. Belleville addressed this earlier, so if there's no other comments or questions, we'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Johns moved to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Conrad Zangmeister wins the battle there. Any further discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 6.5, motion to approve 1 day of leave without pay for Christy Kearns on April 20th, 2026, for a very good cause. Congratulations to her.
Absolutely. So moved.
Mr. Conrad Zangmeister moved to approve. Do we have a second?
Second, Mr. President.
Mr. Kimmer, second the motion. Any further discussion, comments? Not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 6.6, motion to approve the substitute teacher list as presented. Entertain a motion to approve. You've got the list in front of you.
So moved.
Ms. Conrad Zangmeister moved to approve. I'll second that. Any questions or comments, further discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Motion passed. 6.7, this is a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding between Fairfield Union Local School District and Fairfield Union Education Association as presented. Mr. Belleville addressed this earlier. Any other questions or comments about it? If not,
So
need a
moved.
motion. Mr. Smeltzer moved to approve. Go to the draw. Need a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Johns, second the motion. Any further discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Mr. Smelter?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Motion passed. 6.8. Motion to approve memorandum of understanding between Fairfield Union Local School District and Muskingum University as presented. Any questions on this item?
These are for all of our dual enrollment courses for next year. Expanding again.
Nice long list, yeah. If there are no questions, any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister moved to approve.
Second.
Mr. Smelter second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes,
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
motion passed. 6.9, this is a resolution, a motion to approve a resolution authorizing 26-27 membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association as presented. Any questions or comments? No. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved, Mr. President.
Mr. Kimmer moved to approve. I will second the motion. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item 6.10, this is a motion to approve handbook revisions as presented. This is the second reading. We've had an opportunity to read those, review them, and the nice consolidated description of the specific changes of each book. So, any questions or discussion? Not entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Johns moved to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister second the motion. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes,
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passed. Item 6.11, this is motion to approve policy revisions as presented. This is also the second reading. Any questions or discussion? If not, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Johns, thank you. I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes,
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passed. 6.12, this is motion to approve and ratify the contract with Vinton County Bank as presented.
So this actually came up in conversation when we were looking to potentially add a checking account with our bank. We were looking at it when we were working on the high school store. And I had reached out to legal to saying, do I need board approval to open a new bank account? Do I not, do I have that authority? What do I need? To be honest, legal said they didn't. It took a lot of research to find out whether or not I had that authority or we needed to come to the board. What is that some districts in the January organizational meeting have a standing authorization that allows the treasurer to do that. We have not had that throughout history, which was fine. We actually haven't had to open bank accounts, at least since I've been here, if not before that, for quite a while. So when I sent over our agreement with Vinton County Bank, legal actually came to us and said, what we actually think you should do is take this agreement to the board for approval, because we looked throughout history, and that has actually, since from everything we could find, I'm sure at some point way back when something was approved, but as far back as we could find, there was nothing that had gone to the board for approval. The only thing that went to the board was way back when the Digital Academy was in conversation. There was some banking resolutions that were out there. So to bring this up to date, legal just recommended that we bring this to the board and ratify it, since it's a standing agreement that we have had. And then when it comes time for next January, potentially entertain the authorization of opening new bank accounts and whatever that may entail. So it was one of those, kind of stumbled upon this for something completely different. And then just over time, we went back, we were actually back in board meetings all the way back from 2016 and before. So just looking at that, and so she just said, you're probably fine, but you might wanna go ahead and take this to the board. So that's where this is coming from, of just nothing in particular. We actually are not opening a new bank account, so that has gone to the wayside. We're not doing that. But this conversation came up from that conversation. So that's where this is coming from.
All right. Any questions or comments on that? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
I move to approve the ratify the contract with Benton County Bank as presented.
Mr. Kimmers moved to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Johns second the motion. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mr. Kimmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Johns,
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zainmeister,
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman,
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Do I need to abstain?
Yeah.
I mean, my wife's an employee,
That's a good,
so I
you
didn't know.
can if you.
You can to be safe.
To
Okay,
be
be- be
safe,
safe,
that's a
I'll-
good, yes, I apologize, thank you.
No, I just thought of it when I seen it earlier today.
I did not think of that, but thank you. I
Forgot to
appreciate
ask
it.
you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, motion passed. Moving on to 6.3, motion to approve the salary schedules for the 26-27 school year as presented.
These salary schedules do reflect a 3% increase across the board to the base. Just keep in mind that the teacher salaries had already been approved even prior to this evening's MOU, since that's for the year after. But this is bringing up the balance of the employees with a 3% base, since we have traditionally followed what the teachers union is receiving. With this is out there. So no other changes other than bringing up that base by 3%. And this does keep us in line with county, with schools around us, looking competitively. We are in line.
Other questions or comments? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Smeltzer's moved to approve. Do we have a second?
Second, Mr. President.
Mr. Kimmer second the motion. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zainmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes,
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
motion passed. And that brings us to section 7, executive session.
No executive session.
No need for an executive session. Excellent. No executive session. We'll move right on to closing items. 8.1 reminders. Okay, there we go. Next meeting will be Monday, April 27th, 7 PM at Bremen Elementary School cafeteria. So please put that on your calendar. If there's nothing else by any of the board members, we'll need to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Ms. Conrad Zainmeister moved to approve.
Second.
Mr. Smeltzer second the motion. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zainmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.